from the campus of California State University, Fullerton, Titan Communications presents Titan Radio Theater, a radio drama produced and created by the live radio production class at California State University, Fullerton. Adjust your volume, turn off the lights, and bring your imagination to the first episode of Titan Radio Theater, showcasing two stories: The Hitchhiker, followed by Superman, Dead Man's Secret. And now let's hit the road with The Hitchhiker.
I'm in an auto camp on Route 66, just west of Gallup, New Mexico. If I tell it, maybe it'll help me. It'll keep me from going crazy. But I must tell this quickly. I'm not crazy now. I feel perfectly well. Perfectly well, except I'm running a slight temperature. My name is Ronald Adams. I'm a 36 years of age, unmarried, tall, dark with a black mustache. I drive a 1940 Ford V8 license number 6V7989. I was born in Brooklyn. All this I know. I know I'm at this moment perfectly sane. That is not me that's gone mad, but something else. Something utterly beyond my control. But I must speak quickly, because at any moment the link with life may break. I know it sounds all crazy, but this may be the last thing I ever tell on Earth. The last night I ever see the stars. 6 days ago, I left Brooklyn to drive to California.
Goodbye, son. Good luck to you, my boy.
Goodbye, Mother. Here, give me a kiss and then I'll go.
I'll come out with you to the car.
It's raining. Stay here at the door. Hey, what's this, huh? Tears?
Oh, it's just a trip, Ronald. I wish you weren't driving.
Oh, Mother, there you go again. People do it every day.
I know, but you'll be careful, won't you? Promise me you'll go extra careful and don't fall asleep or drive too fast or pick up any strangers, all right?
Strangers? Don't you worry. There isn't anything going to happen. It's just 8 days of perfectly simple driving on smooth, decent, civilized roads with a hot dog or hamburger stand every 10 miles. I was in excellent spirits. Drive ahead. Even the loneliness seemed like a lark. But I reckoned without him. Crossing the Brooklyn Bridge that morning in the rain, I saw a man leaning up against the cables. He seemed to be waiting for a lift. There were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. He was carrying a cheap overnight bag in one hand. He was thin, nondescript. The cap, pulled down over his eyes, I think. He stepped off to walk. And if I hadn't swerved, I'd have hit him. I almost did hit him. Now, I would have forgotten him completely, except that just an hour later, while crossing the Pulaski Skyway over the Jersey Flats, I saw him again. At least he looked like the same person. He was standing now with one thumb pointing west. I couldn't figure out how he got there, but I thought maybe one of those fast trucks had picked him up, beat me to the Skyway, and let him off. I didn't stop for him. Then, late that night, I saw him again. It was on the Pennsylvania Turpine between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. It's 265 miles long with a very high speed limit. I was just slowing down. For one of the tunnels, when I saw him standing under an arc light by the side of the road, I could see him quite distinctly. The bag, the cap, even the fresh spots of rain spattered over his shoulders. He hailed me this time.
Hello? Hello?
I stepped on that gas like a shot. It's lonely country through the Alleghenies, and I had no intention of stopping. Besides, the coincidences or whatever it was gave me the willies. I stopped at the next gas station.
Yes, sir.
Fill her up, will you?
Nice night, ain't it?
Yes, it has been raining here lately, has it?
Not a drop of rain all week.
Oh no. I suppose that hasn't done your business any harm?
No, people drive through here all kinds of weather. Mostly
Yes.
business though. Ain't many pleasure cars out on the turnpike this season of the year.
I guess not, eh? What about hitchhikers?
Hitchhikers? Here?
Why, what's the matter? Don't you ever see any?
Like I'd be a fool to start out to hitchhike on this road. Look at it.
You mean you never seen anybody?
No, maybe they just get a lift before the turnpike starts. I mean, you know, just before the toll house. But then it's a mighty long ride. Most cars wouldn't pick up a gut for that long of a ride. This is a pretty lonesome country here. Mountains and woods. You ain't seen nobody like that, have you?
Oh, no. It's just a technical question.
Oh, I see. Well, that'll be $1.49 with the tax.
Thing gradually passed from my mind as a coincidence. I had a good night's sleep in Pittsburgh. I don't think about the man and all the next day until, just outside of Zanesville, Ohio, I saw him again. It was a bright, sunshiny afternoon. The peaceful Ohio fields, brown with the autumn stubble, lay dreaming in the gold light. I was driving slowly, drinking it in, and the road suddenly ended in a detour. In front of the barrier, he was standing. Now, hold on just a sec. Let me explain about his appearance before I go on. I repeat, there was nothing sinister about this guy. He was as drab as a mutt fence, or, nor was his attitude menacing. He merely stood there waiting, almost drooping a little, the cheap overnight bag in his hand. He looked as if though he'd been waiting there for hours, and he hailed on me. He started to walk forward.
Hello? Hello?
I'd stopped the car, of course, for the detour. For a few minutes I couldn't see to find the new road. I realized that he must be thinking that I'd stopped for him.
Hello?
No, not just now. I'm sorry.
Going to California?
No, not today. I'm going to New York. Sorry. After I got in the car, back on the road again, I felt like a fool. Yet the thought of me picking him up, having him sit by me, it was somehow unbearable. Yet at the same time, I felt more than ever unspeakably alone. However, hour after hour went by. The fields, the towns ticketed off one by one, the lights changed. I knew now that I was going to see him again. And though I dreaded the sight, I caught myself searching the side of the road, just waiting for him to appear.
Yep, what is it? What you want?
Yeah, you sell sandwiches and possibly pop here, don't you?
Yep, we do in the daytime, but we're closed up for the night.
Look, I know, but I was wondering if you could possibly let me have a cup of coffee. Black coffee.
Not at this time of night, mister. My wife's the cook and she's in bed.
All right, well, now listen. Just a minute ago, there was a man standing here, right beside here. And he is a suspicious-looking man.
What was he doing?
Nothing.
You've been hitting the bottle, that's what's the matter with you. You got nothing better to do than waste decent folk out of their hard-earned sleep. Now get going, get on.
But it looked like as though he was going to rob you.
I ain't got nothing in this den to lose. Now on your way before I call out Sheriff Pokes.
I got into the car again. Drove on slowly. If I could have found a place to rest a little, but I was in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri now. A few resort places there were closed. I had seen him at the roadside stand. I knew I'd see him again, maybe at the next turn of the road. I knew that when I saw him next, I'd run him down. But I didn't see him again until late that next afternoon. I'd stopped the car at a sleepy little junction just across the border into Oklahoma. Let a train pass by when he appeared across the tracks. He was leaning against a telephone pole. It was perfectly airless, dry day. The red clay of Oklahoma was baking under the southwestern sun. Yet there were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. I couldn't stand that. Without thinking, blindly, I started the car across the tracks. He didn't even look up at me. He was staring at the ground. I stepped on the gas hard, wheeling the wheel sharply towards him. I could hear the train in the distance now, but I didn't care. And something went wrong with the car. It stalled right on the tracks. The train was coming closer now. I could hear its bell, its cry, its whistle crying. Still, he stood there. Now I knew that he was beckoning me to my death. Well, I was frustrated that time. It started. It worked at last. I managed to back up, but after train had passed, he was gone. I was all alone in the hot, dry afternoon. After that, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know who this man was or what he wanted of me. I only knew that from now on, I mustn't let myself be alone on the road for 1 minute. Hello there. Hello? Like a ride?
What you think? How far are you going?
Emilio. I'll take you to Emilio.
Amarillo, Texas?
Yeah, that's it. I'll drive you there.
Well, gee, thanks.
Hop in.
Mind if I take off my shoes? My dogs are just killing me.
No, go right ahead.
Oh, man, what a break this is. Swell car, decent guy, driving all the way to Amarillo. All I've been getting so far is trucks.
Hitchhike much?
Sure, only it's tough. To get the breaks, I mean, in these great open spaces.
Yeah, I think it would be. But I'll bet, though, if you got a good pickup in a fast car, you could get to places faster than, well, let's say another person in the car.
I'm not following you.
Well, you take me, for instance. Suppose I'm driving across the country at a nice, steady clip of about 45 miles an hour. Couldn't a girl like you, just standing beside the road waiting for lifts, beat me to town after town, provided she got picked up every time in the car that was doing 65 or 70 miles an hour?
I don't know. Maybe she could. Maybe she couldn't. What difference does it make?
No difference. It's just a crazy idea I had sitting here in the car.
Oh, gee, imagine that. Spending your time in a swell car, thinking of things like that.
What would you do instead?
What would I do? If I was a good-looking fella like yourself, I would just enjoy myself every minute of the time. I'd sit back and relax, and if I saw a good-looking girl alongside the road, hey.
Did you see him too?
See who?
That man, standing beside the barbed wire fence.
I didn't see anybody.
Right there!
It was nothing. It was just a barbed wire fence. What do you think he was trying to do, running into that fence?
Look, there was a man there, I tell you. A thin, gray man with an overnight bag in his hand. I was trying to run him down.
Run him down? You mean kill him?
I'm trying to get rid of him, or at least prove that he's real. But you say you didn't see him back there? You sure?
I didn't see a soul, mister, and as far as that's concerned,
Well, watch for him. Watch for him the next time, and keep watching. Keep your eyes peeled on the road. He'll turn up again. Maybe any minute now. There. Right there.
How does this door work? I'm getting out of here.
Did you see him that time? Did you see him?
I didn't see anybody that time, and personally, mister, I don't expect to ever see him. All I want to do right now is go on living. I don't see how I'll do that for very long, driving with you.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please, don't go.
Please, excuse me.
Please, you can't go. Listen, how'd you like to go to California? I'll drive you there all the way to California.
Yeah, with you seeing pink elephants all the way? No
Just
thanks.
Listen, please, just 1 minute.
You know what you need, big boy? A good dose of sleep, not a girlfriend.
No, you can't go. Come on.
Just leave. Get your hands off me and let me leave.
Come back here, please, come back. She ran from me as if I was some kind of monster. A few minutes later, I saw a passing truck pick her up, and I was utterly alone. was in the heart of the great Texas prairies. There wasn't a car on the road. After the truck went by, I tried to figure out what to do, how to get a hold of myself. If I could find a place to rest, or even if I could sleep right here in the car, just a few hours, get some sleep just alongside the road. I was getting my winter overcoat out of the back seat, to use as a blanket, just as a blanket.
Hello?
When I saw him coming towards me, emerging from the herd of moving steer,
Hello?
I didn't wait for him to come any closer.
Hello?
Maybe I should have spoke to him then, fought it out then and there. And now he began to be everywhere. Whenever I stopped even for a minute, for gas, for oil, for a drink, a pop, a cup of coffee, a sandwich, he was there. I saw him standing outside the auto camp in Aurelio. That night when I dared to slow down, he was standing near the drinking fountain at a little camping spot just inside the border of Mexico. It was New Mexico. He was waiting for me outside the Navajo reservation where I stopped to check my tires. I saw him in Albuquerque where I'd bought, I think it was 10 gallons of gas. Yeah, that's what it was. I was afraid now. Afraid to stop. I began to drive faster and faster. I was in a lunar landscape now. The great arid mesa country of New Mexico. I drove through it with the indifference of a fly crawling over the face of the moon. And now, you didn't even wait for me to stop. Unless I drove at 85 miles an hour over the endless roads. He waited for me at every other mile. I could see his figure, shadowless, flitting with me. Still in the same attitude over the still and lifeless ground. He was by old glacial upheavals, fitting in the pure cloudless air. I was beside myself, when I finally reached Gallup, New Mexico this morning. There's an auto camp there. It's cold, almost deserted this time of year. I went inside and asked if there was a telephone. I had the feeling if I could speak to someone familiar, somebody that I loved, I just might be able to pull myself together.
Number, please.
Long distance.
Thank you.
This is long distance.
I'd like to put in a call to my home to Brooklyn, New York. I'm Ronald Adams. You see, the number is Beechwood 9970.
Thank you. What is your number?
My number. It's 312.
Albuquerque? New York for Gallup. New York? Gallup, New Mexico, calling Beechwood 9970.
I'd read somewhere that love could banish demons. It was in the middle of the morning. I knew Mother'd be home. I pictured her tall white hair in her crisp house dress, going about her tasks. It'd be enough. I thought, just to hear the even calmness of her voice.
Will you please deposit $3.85 for the first 3 minutes? When you have deposited $1.50, will you wait until I have collected the money? All right, deposit another $1.50. Will you please deposit the remaining 85 cents? Ready with Brooklyn. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Adams' residence.
Hello, Mother?
This is Miss Adams' residence. Who is it you wish to speak to?
Who is this? Who is this?
This is Miss Whitney.
Miss Whitney? Why, I don't know any Miss Whitney. Is this Beechwood 9970?
Yes.
Where's my mother? Where's Miss Adams?
Miss Adams is not home. She is still in the hospital.
The hospital?
Yes. Who's calling, please? Is this a member of the family?
Wait, what's she in the hospital for?
She's been prostrated for 5 days. A nervous breakdown. Who's calling?
Nervous breakdown? My mother doesn't have...
It's all taken place since the death of her oldest son, Ronald.
The death of her oldest son, Ronald. Hey, what is this? What number is this?
This is Beechwood 9970. It's all been very sudden. He was killed 6 days ago in an automobile accident on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Sir, your 3 minutes are up. Your 3 minutes are up, sir.
And so, I'm sitting here in this deserted auto camp in Gallup, New Mexico. And so I'm trying to think. Trying to get a hold of myself. Otherwise I'll go crazy. Inside it is a night, a vast soul. It's a night of New Mexico. A million stars in the sky. Ahead of me stretch thousands of miles of empty mesa and mountains, prairies, desert. Somewhere among them, he's waiting for me. Somewhere, I shall know who he is and who I am.
We hope you enjoyed The Hitchhiker's Story. If so, don't go away. Stay tuned, because coming up, we'll have Superman, Dead Man's Secret.
Excuse me, sir. I see you're busy, but...
Yeah, I'm kind of busy.
Have you ever stopped to think what we would do without...
Without what?
I mean, you take a disaster like the floods in Louisiana. Whose job was it to go right in there with medical supplies, clothing, nurses?
Well,
And who were the people who pitched right in and did the work?
Right.
And listen, sir, who is responsible by charter of Congress for helping the welfare and morale of our servicemen and their families? Anywhere a soldier goes, who is there to help him?
Why, these
Same one? And wait a minute. How about accident prevention and first aid training? Who teaches your children water safety, conducts home nursing courses, trains volunteers to serve the community in emergencies?
I get...
Oh, yes. And who provides blood that saves thousands of lives every year?
Well...
Honestly, what would we ever do without...
The Red Cross? Well, we couldn't do without the Red Cross. That's why it's wise to give to the Red Cross.
And why is it wise?
Well, because they need the money.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat what you want or starve yourself? Starve yourself? Wrong. A half-empty stomach causes hunger tantrums. Now you can avoid hunger tantrums, lose weight naturally and fast. With the RDX full stomach reducing plan, you fill your stomach, yet fat just seems to melt away. And safe, pleasant-tasting RDX tablets contain no dangerous drugs, no hormones. So if you want to eat and lose fat, get RDX at your drugstore today.
Now say, new Fact toothpaste helps stop cavities before they start.
What's the name of that toothpaste?
New Fact, the toothpaste that helps stop cavities before they start.
Univac, the giant electronic brain made only by Remington Rand, takes business statistics from magnetic tape, letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, processing them through its electronic circuits at phenomenal speeds. Univac can compute payrolls electronically, then produce printed checks in a flash. Over 8,000 checks an hour with this high-speed printer. Univac leads the field of electronic computing.
Vanish, the new disinfectant bathroom bowl cleaner. Another work-saving product from Dracket.
Scouring powder, disinfectant, bleach, deodorizer. Today I get to clean the bathroom bowl.
Stuck with the nastiest job in the house? Make it vanish.
Vanish?
Total Action Vanish. Try it. See, Total Action Vanish lifts off water stains, disinfects, bleaches, even leaves a clean, fresh fragrance. You just brush and flush. Next time you're stuck with the nastiest job in the house, make it vanish.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing.
Saran wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better too because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran wrap at your grocer's. Saran wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
Say, listen to this one-man band. He plays by foot, by mouth, by hand. His music is a poor excuse. It's corn mixed up with lemon juice. That's 'cause this guy must play along his violin and saxophone. But if you want good harmony, takes more than one, takes two or three. Like this, like Benny Goodman, Teddy Wilson, Gene Krupa, Lionel Hampton, all teaming up to make music together as the one, the only Benny Goodman Quartet. And whenever Americans team up, there's harmony. Whenever Christian and Jew, Negro and white work side by side, they're tuned up for freedom. They're solid. Remember, folks, we can make such beautiful music together.
I'm Pet Milk Pete, a rough, tough guy. I'll shoot the whiskers off a fly. Why, I'll lick my weight in wildcats, too. The reason why I'll give to you. I grew up on Pet. Pet milk, the doctor said for me. A healthy lad needs vitamin D. My bones got strong, my muscles feel. They had to spring a tempered stale. I grew up on Pet. I outgrew that bottle like a calf, then switched to Pet, mixed half and half. That sweet country milk with half the water out, so I put it back in right from the spout. I grew up on Pet. And all the time, Mom cooked with Pet, those meals I never will forget. At 18, I could punch a cow. I had my Pet with coffee now. I grew up on Pet. So take my tip, for old Pete knows that what you eat is how you grow. So grow up strong the Pet milk way and have some Pet milk every day.
Welcome back. And now, our next story on Titan Radio Theater will be Superman, Dead Man's Secret.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman. Strange visitor from planet Krypton, who came to Earth with amazing physical powers, far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, a mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, wages a never-ending battle for truth and justice. And today, while Superman pits his strength against the might of the sun at the top of a towering snow-covered mountain in the Alps, Robert Archer and a group of terrified villagers stand far below and witness a hair-raising sight.
That rumbling. What is it?
It's come from the mountain.
Look, there's Superman. Good heavens, he's falling. He looks dead.
Just before he died, a famous nuclear physicist named Sir Hubert Clay confided the secrets of a mighty sun weapon to his midget companion Freddy, telling him that the devastating weapon was timed to shatter the world on the stroke of February 1st. Sir Hubert instructed the tiny man to find Robert Archer, a former assistant who would be able to avert the catastrophe. With the aid of Superman, Freddy was on the verge of contacting Archer when he was captured by the Boot, an international conspirator who first forced Sir Hubert's secret from him, then flew by plane to a distant mountain cave near the Swiss border where the mighty sun weapon had been set up. But at his moment of triumph, the boot was killed by a mountain guide whom he had tried to destroy. With only moments remaining before the unleashed atomic power of the sun would shatter the world, Superman streaked the mountain cave and pitted his own titanic strength against the sun. And suddenly, there was a gigantic explosion, and the top of the great mountain was cast towards the heavens in a vast shower of debris that carried the Man of Steel with it. For a radius of 100 miles, the sky was irradiated, as in a tremendous pyrotechnic display. And then the light faded, and in the quiet alpine valley, invisible under hundreds of tons of rock and stone and solid snow, lay the sprawled, unmoving figure of Superman. And early the next day, from the tiny village below the decapitated mountain, Robert Archer and Henri, the wounded guide, walked slowly into the valley. Certain that Superman was destroyed in the explosion, Henri carries a wreath of mountain flowers. When he and Archer reach the vast mound of soil and rock and uprooted trees, the guide places his wreath gently at the floor of the mound.
Rest in peace, Superman.
He gave his life, that we and the rest of mankind could live, Henri.
Oui, Monsieur Usher. He was a great and good man.
Yes, and now he's gone. I can hardly believe it.
It does not seem possible.
Wait.
What is it, Monsieur?
Look, Henri. The mound of debris. It's moving.
What can this be?
Great heavens, look. There's a hand coming out of the mound. And great Scott, Henri. It's Superman.
No, this cannot be.
He's alive. Superman's alive.
Sorry if I startled you, gentlemen.
This is the happiest moment of my life, Superman. I thought you were done for.
Well, so did I, as a matter of fact.
I do not dream. You really are Superman?
In person, Henri. Except for my costume, which looks as if it had gone through a cement mixer. I've never felt better.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Well, for this I give thanks to le bon Dieu, Monsieur.
So do I, Henri. I'm glad to see you're all right, too. I gather the boot's bullet broke your arm, eh?
Well, but it was worth the pain now that the evil is no more, and for him, I do not grieve.
Nor do I. He had it coming to him.
Yes, he certainly did. And now let's forget the boot. We've got to get back to America, Mr. Archer. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. There's nothing left of Sir Hubert's cave, or his sun weapon. Did you see enough of it to be able to reconstruct it?
No. Sir Hubert's great secret is gone forever.
That, I think, is for the best.
Yes, Henri. It's probably just as well. Sir Hubert created it in the belief he could frighten the nations of the world into keeping the peace. But it can't be done that way.
The boot showed us that when he almost obtained possession of the weapon.
Yes, true peace can only come when all men want it enough to bury their greed, and hate, and self-seeking, and meet their fellow men in friendship and with understanding.
That's right, Superman.
To that I say amen.
And now, we've got to get moving, Mr. Archer.
I'm ready, Superman.
Goodbye, Henri. And good luck.
Au revoir, Monsieur, and may le bon Dieu bless you.
Up with you, Mr. Archer.
Goodbye, Henri.
Au revoir, Monsieur Usher. Au revoir.
Up, and away!
Leaping from the little valley with Robert Archer in his arms, Superman pauses in curious flight for a brief moment to wave to the smiling glide and to look once more at the oddly decapitated mountain, the scene of one of his most hazardous and exciting experiences. And then he summons his great strength and rockets away to the west, over the plains and cities and rivers, and out over the vast Atlantic, on his way back to Metropolis. The following day, once more in his guise and garb of Clark Kent, the mild-mannered and bespectacled reporter, he is in his office in the Daily Planet, writing a follow-up on his great story, when the door opens. And cub reporter Jimmy Olsen enters with Freddy. The tiny man, although still a bit wan, is beaming and resplendently attired in a new frock coat of emerald green, striped trousers pressed against to a razor's edge, and gleaming patent leather shoes. And hung from his arm is a tiny rolled umbrella. Hiya, Mr. Kent.
Hello, Jim.
Look who's here.
Freddy! Well, when did they let you out of the hospital?
Oh, just now. Well, I'll say, Mr. Kent, it was jolly decent of you to send me this new outfit.
Oh, think nothing of it, Freddy. Do they fit all right?
Oh, perfectly. Well, the garments were completely ruined and the boots and beastly chimney, you know.
Boy, doesn't he look sharp, though?
He certainly does. Come on, Freddy. Let me put you up on my desk. And we can get a good look at you.
Oh, very well, old man.
There you are.
Wow, sure looks keen.
You think the American audiences will like me?
American audiences? Why do you ask?
Well, he's going back into the circus business.
Oh, yes. I've just signed up to appear with the Great Barnum Billing Circus, you know.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, indeed, Squire. I'm to be one of their stellar attractions.
Is that so?
Oh, most certainly.
Huh, you look keen enough.
Well, do you know, I've been positively snowed under with offers since yesterday, Mr. Kent. Oh, I mean, when your story credited me with saving the whole bloomin' world appeared in the Daily Planet.
Well, that's pretty swell, eh, Jim?
It sure is. Oh, but I'll miss you, Freddy. I was, kind of hoping you'd stick around.
Oh, well, I'll miss you too, old chap. Frightfully. But, well, you know how it is. Show must go on, all that sort of thing.
Sure, I know.
But the circus plays Metropolis every year, you know, so I'll be seeing both of you chaps then.
Say, that's right.
Oh, we'll be right there in box seats, Freddy. Oh, excuse me a minute. Clark Kent speaking.
Mr. Kent, this is Robin.
Robin?
That's right. Batman.
Oh. Oh, yes, Robin. Well, what can I do for you?
Listen, can you come out to our house right away?
Well, yes, but what's wrong, Robin? You sound rather upset.
I am, Mr. Kent. Something terrible has happened.
Great Scott, what on earth?
I can't talk about it on the phone. Can you come out here, please, right now?
Why, yes, of course.
Hurry, please, Mr. Kent, hurry.
I'll be there at once, Robin. Just sit tight.
Disturbed by Robin's urgent message, Clark Kent replaces the phone. Ignoring Jimmy Olsen's questions, hurries from his office. A moment later, he is en route to the home of famous Batman and Robin as Superman. Summoned by Robin, the young companion of famous Batman, Superman streaks to the handsome mansion, which is occupied by the dynamic duo as Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. And now, as we rejoin Superman, he is once more in his guise of Clark Kent and is questioning young Dick Grayson in the living room.
What's wrong, Dick? Why are you so upset?
It's Batman, Mr. Kent.
Well, what about Batman?
He's gone.
Gone? What do you mean?
It's just what I said. He's gone, I tell you.
But
And I'm afraid we'll never see him again.
Startled, Clark Kent stares at young Dick Grayson, who chokes back the tears as he repeats,
And we'll never see poor Batman again.
What does Robin mean? What has happened to the great Batman? Fellows and girls, don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode when we begin a brand new and action-packed mystery adventure of Superman with Batman and Robin. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for Chapter 1 of a new adventure of Superman.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Titan Radio Theater. This program was brought to you with the help of our students in the live production class here at California State University Fullerton. Our performers for Superman were Edward Lucas Camacho, Chris Garcia, Lily Sue, and Alex Kim. For The Hitchhiker, our performers were Robert Dolan, Patrick Parado, Kyle Guzmano, Kalisha Pereira, Logan Kissinger, Tiffany Gonzalez, and Sean Rudd. I'm your faculty advisor, Rob Van Riel. Ira Shadaram directed the live taping with the help of Nathan Jeffers, our audio engineer guru. And our live television streaming crew were Amanda Morozic, Daniel Espinoza, Andy Vasquez, Brenton Hewitt, Majid Jafari, and Christian Penuelas. Always visit titanradio.org for great radio gems such as this program. Until next time, this is Rob Van Reel, your host of Titan Radio Theater.